Kcal News Mornings.
Good Wednesday morning. It's January 22nd. Thanks for joining us on Kcal News at 5 a.m. I'm Chris Holmstrom.
And I'm Paulina Estrinos, and here are some of the major headlines we're following.
The fire is burned deep into the roots. There's nothing left holding the soil on the ground.
Even a little rain can do major damage in the Eaton fire burn zones. The race to prepare for the area for what's coming.
This firestorm left behind serious health and environmental impacts.
And fire runoff threatening the Kcal water supply and the ocean. The risk of contamination near the coast.
No president can unilaterally change the Constitution on a whim.
And legal battles underway as the legality of President Trump's first executive orders come under scrutiny.
All right, but first, let's take a look at your next weather. We've got some rain coming up in the forecast, and I know a lot of people looking at that. Hopefully not too much.
Yeah, so right now it doesn't look like too much, but it's going to be a nice break and change in the weather pattern. But before we even get there, take a look. We're dealing with some lighter conditions this morning, meaning in terms of wind. We still have these gusts in our usual wind-prone areas, still in the 20s and 30s for Simi Valley and Santa Clarita. But again, not as strong as what we saw yesterday morning where we had them in the 40s and 50s. So we're getting a bit of a break from the winds, meaning not as gusty. And then as we head toward the afternoon, the winds have dried us out here in Southern California, so our temperatures will remain well above average. Look at these highs. 78 for the coast. We have low 80s for LA and Orange County and the valleys. We still have red flag warnings in place just because of those gusty conditions, the warmer temperatures, and then our low humidity. We have that very dry air, some of the driest air we've seen all season, dropping our humidity levels down to single digits. So we're looking at these above average temperatures, and our wind sheltered areas like the high desert still has that freeze warning in place this morning. But looking at highs by the afternoon in the mid 60s. Coming up, my next weather forecast, I will let you know when the winds will finally go away and when that cooler air will be arriving and when that rain chance starts to increase. Back to you.
A couple things to look forward to. Amber, thank you. Let's get you out the door right now for a look at your next traffic. I want to remind you about the Eaton fire closures. We now have hard closures and soft closures. So starting off with the hard closures here, Angeles Crest Highway still off limits, Angeles Forest Highway and San Gabriel Canyon Road. Just a heads up if you live or plan on traveling in that vicinity. The soft closures include Altadena, Fair Oaks Avenue, Santa Anita Avenue, Lake and Marengo Avenue as well. And then we also, of course, will have our Pacific Palisades fire closures too. We have a lot of these on our website. The majority of LA, Orange County and IE right now look great for your morning commute, aside from these closures, but I'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
And we have some breaking news out of the Westlake District. At least 5 people were shot just before 1 a.m. Cell phone video shows a person on the ground near the lake, then other possible victims across the street. The LAPD says all 5 people were taken to the hospital. Investigators are still trying to figure out what exactly led up to this shooting.
Firefighters have gained the upper hand on the Clay Fire burning near Jurupa Valley Homes. The 40-acre brush fire broke out around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon in a riverbed near the intersection of Van Buren and Clay Street. This morning, it's 40% contained. All evacuation warnings in the area have been lifted.
And we're also monitoring a fire that broke out in Ventura County. It's on private property near Grimes Canyon Road and Sheckle Drive. Firefighters have stopped forward progress at 1 acre. At last check, firefighters were mopping up the hot spots.
CAL FIRE says the Eaton fire is 89% contained this morning. That's some good news.
That is great news. Yeah, and while many are returning to their homes, they also may face a new problem. We're talking about approaching rain. Kcal News reporter Cara Fincham live in Pasadena, where people are bagging up sand to protect from all that rain that we could be getting. Cara.
Yeah, local leaders hoping that this rain doesn't present any problems, but do fear that heavier showers could bring down some of that charred earth and debris. So they are preparing. And behind us here, you can see all of these sandbags just stacked up. CAL FIRE crews, other volunteers have been working on this. These will be taken to area fire stations and other spots for pickup. We spoke with one Altadena man returning to his burned home for the first time, looking for anything left.
A few dishes and stuff that didn't break. We're going to come up again Friday before it rains with my brother and my sister and just go through the house as quickly as we can before it starts to rain.
Pancho Scott and